Now, Ireland's Gary Cully, he looks to keep his unbeaten record intact. He takes on another former world champion in Mexican Miguel Vasquez.
Miguel Vasquez, a 16-year pro, in the opposite corner on the end of one of the consensus last decisions of the year against Lewis Ritson last year. He will, you think, Darren, not want to leave things to chance as he did that night.
Yeah, and you can see already, look, he's just come out to try and hold the centre of the ring. You see against Lewis Ritson, he moved an awful lot. But see here, look, he won't want the same thing to happen. He'll want to do everything he can to win this fight, but I've been very impressed with Gary Cully. Very good fighter. He's tall, he's rangy, gets into a nice rhythm, he can move his feet, moves his head well. Under pressure at times he can come tall and chin does rise, but he really is a good, slick operator.
Vasquez holding centering. Cully just trying to pot shot in from range, but Vasquez has stuck that right hand through on a couple of occasions already. I think Taylor did well against Vasquez, kind of lead hand control, just kind of stiff-armed him with that jab hand and just manipulated the head position to straight arm him as he stepped back. And with Cully's levers, I'd expect him to try and do something similar, but he isn't so far.
He's just got to bring his feet out of range and hope that Vasquez falls over the front foot. It's a good move, good moving now.
Turning off the hook, yeah.
Exactly, getting back to centre ring. This is what he wants to do, is work behind that jab. That's it, get on the rhythm. Vasquez is about getting tight. Work away to the body of the taller man.
All good stance, Vasquez. No real readable rhythm to him either. And there was just a little, a bit of blood actually in the eye of Vasquez and under the eyelid. Hard to see where the cut is. It's been obscured from our vision. We'll try and get a look at that in between the round. Could that be a factor? Cully just leads off with the left hand to the body. As we mentioned, that can be a point of vulnerability for him. Pivots off nicely, gets back to centre ring, and there is blood starting to really pour, and it's inside the eyelid there with Miguel Vasquez.
Listen, if you're Cully, you keep poking that jab out. He'll catch that left eye of Vasquez.
And he does so right on cue. Kicking, pivoting and moving round. This is a good spell for Gary Cully. He'll take some positivity from that cut above the left eye, right on the eyelid of Vasquez. There's the second stick down.
Shot. We have seen a different Vasquez, haven't we, this evening so far? Trying to hold the centre of the ring. I mean, there was an awful lot of movement against Ritson.
And he was being hunted down by Ritson, but the head was a static target. It was always moving forwards, and it made it easy for him to kind of pot shot and find the space. But Gary Cully has been a little smarter in the way he's gone about his work so far in this contest. Little shoe shine on the inside.
Yeah, he fancies this now, Cully, doesn't he? A very confident start to the third round, halfway through. And he's enjoying this little hop, little skip in his movement, picking the shots well. Trying to frustrate the older, more experienced man.
And are we just seeing that night where a fighter fades in front of our eyes? Vasquez has shown that he's still got a bit to offer, but he's looking a little flat-footed here. A long time ago, I heard Laura mention in the studio making his debut in his home city of Guadalajara against a 15-year-old 2-0 novice Phil Canelo Alvarez. They met once again a couple of years later, and Vasquez touches down.
I was literally just going to say, he's got to be careful, Vasquez. He's jumping in. And he will walk onto one, and he will walk onto a straight left from Cully there. It was a lovely shot, well timed.
The Irishman has found his range.
He's enjoying himself, isn't he?
You just know when a fighter's this relaxed and flowing. I just wonder whether Gary Cully's finding this easier than he had even expected it to be. Considerably easier at this stage. He would have prepared himself like never before. But we know Vasquez is wily. We know he can drag himself back into these kind of fights, and he's trying to put his foot down here and make the space and time with which Cully has to work tighter than they were in the last couple of rounds. But he's got to keep up this kind of pace.
Yeah, he does. I think the blueprint's there for Cully with that knockdown in the previous round. I think, look, try and draw out that lead of Vasquez and fire back with a straight shot. You see, he was just about to let go of it there.
Of course, the more that Vasquez does try and rush him,
just too wild with the work, Chris.
Yeah, the more he is likely to maybe walk on to something at Cully in that rhythm, high on his toes.
Good work, nice right uppercut.
Vasquez holds, just tried to make himself small up close. Cully just freeing himself, trying to be the bully in there. Vasquez looking for the uppercuts, rolling under the hooks. Cully might just be wise to take a step back there, just give himself some space to work. And just a notch up in terms of the noise in Nottingham Arena too, and it's going to keep going that way with Terry Harper, Kevin and Jarko to come before the main event here.
Yeah, they've been brilliant, the Irish supporters. I've seen them around the Nottingham City Centre.
Oh, and the weigh-in yesterday was just something else.
Yeah, really enjoying themselves.
What a cut hasn't become problematic for Vasquez, but what has become problematic is the timing and positioning, selection of the shots from Gary Cully. He's just starting to break through his man, and well, Pete Taylor was just calling for that check left hook on the back foot from Cully with that lead hand, and he obliges almost immediately. Vasquez just lands one of his own. I think he knows he's got to try and drag this into a bit more of a dogfight, get him up closer and try and outwork him. He's not going to win this at range.
No, he's not. Yeah, he needs to try and get that experience into play. Let his hand go, try.
Oh, the left hand
shot again.
Gary Cully on the button, drops Miguel Vasquez. He tries to get up, sinks to his knees. And it's so early in the round as well, but he's not going to make it. And it is a seminal night for Gary Cully, who said he wanted to move from prospect to contender. And tonight he has done just that in front of a few thousand of the Irish faithful. Vasquez, Darren, not what he has been in years gone by, and it's always sad to see a fighter that has scaled the heights stay in the ring a little bit too long.
And what's exciting, there's more to come from Cully. At times he did smother his work, but that was a beautiful, just, I mean, textbook, straight 1-2 down the pipe. Lovely shot, and the 35-year-old from Mexico wanted no more of that. Beautiful 1-2, right on the button, lovely shot, and he'll be over the moon. Confidence will really be high after that.